Good morning. Welcome back to the Broadcast Retirement Network. I'm Jeff Snyder. This is BRN AM for Friday, September 3rd, 2021. And here are our top stories. Small businesses recover and adapt, and getting back to that fit and healthy lifestyle. Well, joining me now to discuss this and a lot more is Garrett Roberts. He is the owner of Go Row Studios in Hoboken, New Jersey. Garrett, great to see you again. Thanks so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Good to see you too, Jeff. Long time no see.
It has been a long time no see. I see you're sitting upright on a rowing machine. Let's check in with you. I think when we last spoke, there he goes. He's little rock forward, little rock back. Garrett, how are things going? I know, I think we talked to you pre-COVID and maybe during when COVID began, but are things recovering for Go Row Studios?
It's getting there. You know, it's not back to the way it was pre-pandemic, but it's probably like 50-60%. I think a lot of people are making up for last summer and, you know, not being able to go away last year, that they're doubling or even tripling their vacations this year. So I'm really hoping after Labor Day, which after speaking to a couple other business owners in town, they think that everybody's going to be back and get back to hopefully 90 or even hopefully 100%.
Yeah, and I guess just to refresh everyone's memory, you teach classes typically in the studio. You're sitting on a rower, but it's one of 10 rowing machines, but you have classes that you teach throughout the day.
Yep. So I have classes at 6 and 7 o'clock in the morning, and then also at noon. And then my evening classes are at 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. And then I have classes on the weekend at 10 and 11.
Yeah, and let's talk about your going virtual, because I like to call it Go Row Virtual. When you converted a lot of businesses, you couldn't have people in because of the pandemic. You immediately started using Instagram and Facebook. How has that adaptation served your business? And have you seen a lot of people from not only in Hoboken and New York and New Jersey, but around the planet kind of tune in to what you're doing? And does that help your business thrive?
Well, that's what I'm hoping. After recording 136 classes during the pandemic and doing live streams every day, it gave me a lot of international attention. Surprisingly, wasn't expecting it. But after you start promoting the videos, sharing to other people's pages, yada, yada, I was getting almost 7,000 views a day. And then I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. So I started getting people emailing me from all over the world, asking how to get one of these machines, how to get, you know, the dumbbells, the resistance bands, the stretch mats, everything. And, you know, just basically giving them some tips on, you know, how to get back in shape after being stuck in their homes for how long.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in the second segment, but I do have a couple of additional questions for you in terms of, did the Olympics actually help? Because don't they have rowing? I think they have rowing in the Olympics. So did they have rowing in this Olympics?
Yeah, and because of the time difference, I kept missing them. So I was really looking forward to watching it. And some people saw it, but I apparently missed it. I watched every other event except the rowing. So
I feel like during every Olympics, you get people who are really enthused about gymnastics, rowing, and some of the other events. But, you know, rowing, Garrett, is a great form of exercise. And my recollection is it uses about 85% of the musculature in your body. I think the only thing that doesn't get worked out is your head and maybe some of your shoulders, but you take care of that.
Yeah, I make sure that it's 100%, you know, so there's a lot of things that I do on the rowing machine that when you do just a normal row here, you know, yeah, you're using about 80-85%. So as soon as you start doing some overhead presses with it, and then some of the bicep curls and some of the other stuff that I do, you know, you really start recruiting almost 100% of the muscles. And then whatever you don't do on the rowing machine, I take care of it on the stretch mat using dumbbells.
Yeah. Garrett, you mentioned some of the other businesses. I mean, your business is in a business building with other businesses. I think you're right above a restaurant, and you're in a great location, Hoboken, New Jersey, which has a lot of restaurants, a lot of retail. Are things returning to whatever normal is? I mean, are things getting back to some level of normalcy where people can go out, enjoy food to eat, businesses are reopening? What's that look like in Hoboken?
Yeah, Hoboken's really thriving. It's really great to see, because Hoboken is such a tight-knit community. And so all of us business owners in town, we all talk to each other, interact with each other on social media, just to make sure that, everybody is kind of surviving, and if they need help, how to get help. But yeah, the restaurants and bars here, yeah, they're fine.
Yeah, people need to drink and eat. But what about clothing? What about retailers in Hoboken? There's, just like it is in many other small towns in the United States, there's clothing stores, there's pharmacies, all different, electronic stores. I mean, are they open, reopening, and able to serve customers?
Throughout the last year and a half, I've seen a couple of clothing retail stores close. It's really a shame. A couple of hairdressers, hair salons, nail salons. It's probably been maybe a couple dozen places that have closed, unfortunately, after 15, 20 years. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have reopened those businesses, and they seem to be doing pretty well.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they had access. I think when you and I chatted last spring, a year ago in the spring, when this all began, there was the Paycheck Protection Program, there was the EIDL loan, and I think a lot of people had difficulty accessing some of those areas of funding. If you don't have access to funding, if you can't keep your employees, creates a challenge. And now going forward, I know smaller businesses, similar in size to yours, having difficulty attracting workers.
Yeah, and I've always had a problem doing that. It's because I'm a little picky on the people that I hire. So if anybody out there wants a fitness instructor job, just part-time, contact me. And
info at gorostudios.com, I think is correct, right?
You got it. Or you just go onto the webpage at gorostudios.com.
Garrett, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the restaurants and bars are having a serious problem, where they tell you as soon as they come to your table, saying like, "Hey, we're short of staff right now, so if there's a little wait, please, have some patience." Rather than waiting for your food for a half hour, 45 minutes, and I've waited even over an hour, and they we'll give you a couple of free drinks because of the wait and stuff like that. But even restaurants and bars are having a tough time really trying to find help.
Yeah. Well, Garrett, I need to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about how to get fit and healthy post-pandemic. You're going to want to stay tuned right here on BRN AM.
You need a financial plan that fits the way you want to live in retirement. A plan that can help grow and protect your money, now or in the future. With an annuity in your plan to help cover essential expenses, you'll have the freedom to live the retirement you want. This is what an annuity can do. Find the right financial professional to show you how. Learn more at protectedincome.org.
Imagine a new television network that will make you richer, healthier, and in control of your financial future. This network is for the policewoman in Nashville, Tennessee, the baker in Dubuque, Iowa, the teacher in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to make the idea of savings and retirement culturally relevant. But what do you see as a defining issue of the midterms? especially for the smaller businesses. I mean, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Featuring exclusive interviews, current affairs, and docuseries. 33 years old, you retired early.
The philosophy is money only matters if it helps you live a life that you love.
But you got to start thinking about retirement as soon as you get in.
The Broadcast Retirement Network will drive very high engagement with premium partnerships. So this isn't retirement and savings for your parents or grandparents. This is for all Americans. And we're going to change the way you think about money. Welcome to the next frontier of retirement and savings. This is BRN, the Broadcast Retirement Network.
Are you stuck with a low credit score? A credit report and score that's causing you to be denied credit or pay higher interest rates than others for the same things? Then do what Terrence did and call Credit Repaired for your free credit evaluation to help restore your credit.
I started thinking about buying a new house, and my score wasn't where I needed it to be. I called and spoke with one of the representatives, and we just had a good conversation, and I liked what he was saying.
Just one call for his free credit evaluation was all it took to start back on the track to repairing his credit.
I'm seeing the deletions and I'm getting the report, so I know something's being done. It does make a difference to me.
All it takes is one call to get started.
Credit Repair has given me a second chance to have a better credit score.
Don't let a low credit score hold you back another day. Do what Terrence did and make the call for your free credit evaluation.
Call 800-819-4152. That's 800-819-4152. Again, 800-819-4152.
Welcome back. We're talking to Garrett Roberts. He's the owner of Go Row Studios in Hoboken, New Jersey. Garrett, thanks so much for staying with us this morning.
Hey, it's good to be here, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. You're on the rowing machine. Let's talk about getting fit. A lot of us, myself included, maybe didn't work out as hard as we could have. Maybe we still had a good diet. But what are some things to kind of get back into the swing of things?
Well, if you're afraid to go to your local fitness studio, some things you can do at home are just basic sit-ups, basic push-ups, basic, body weight squats. Those are just like the real basic ones that you can just do basically anywhere. But if you can go to your local fitness studio and support them, I would really strongly encourage that, whether it be a spin studio, an indoor rowing studio, just try to do whatever you can to support your local businesses.
And, in terms of, it's always tough restarting a program. I know I've been challenged by it, and it's kind of like you get back into it and you're like almost like depressed, Garrett, that, you lost the stamina. You don't have the ability to row or to work out as much as you did. How do you overcome that? How do you chip away and get back to where you were pre-pandemic?
It's $1 million question. It's not only like pre-pandemic, but it's like basically how you really start a workout program after not working out forever or, in the last year or two. You just got to like jump into it, whether you find a workout partner, or shop around to different fitness studios to find the one that you're most comfortable with. That's kind of one of the first ways to start. If you need somebody else to help motivate you, that's my job. If you can find a workout partner, that you can motivate each other, try to have, set some goals, at the end of the week goals, monthly goals, a couple month goals. So, try to start it that way. It'll be a lot easier to start.
Yeah, it's like chipping away. Garrett, mental health is a big issue. It is a big issue. A lot of people quarantine. Delta is causing businesses still not open up their offices. People working remotely. Lots of people out there maybe don't have a partner, don't have a roommate, don't have a spouse or someone that they can confide in. Exercise can really release endorphins and help in that aspect of mental health. Won't solve all the issues, but it can help.
Yeah, and that's why I really strongly encourage people, because I know a lot of my clients are coming back after, almost 2 years, did get a little depressed because they gained a lot of weight. when you're sitting at home not doing anything, some people gain as much as 90 pounds. So, which I didn't even recognize a few of the people after a while. But yeah, once you start exercising there and just kind of get back into the groove, feel your muscles start working, get those endorphins pumping again, and that'll kind of really, really help motivate you and help increase your, serotonin, epinephrine, all that stuff,
Yeah, and Garrett, I mean, food is a really big part of being healthy. We've had a lot of different doctors and guests on talking about nutrition. Let's talk about that, because a lot of people ordered from Grubhub, Uber Eats, the different services. And that was, the great thing about living in today's era is that you have access to a phone and you can pretty much order anything you want. But really, it's good to go out, go shopping, go to your local supermarkets. Again, supporting local chains or local grocery stores makes a lot of sense. But really, you can find healthful things on the perimeter of these stores.
Well, first of all, that's why restaurants were really thriving throughout the pandemic, because their takeout business was just unbelievable. Some restaurants, who I'm really good friends with the owners, did even better during the pandemic than they did pre-pandemic because of their takeout business. But if you go to your local grocery market, it's set up in a format that's really conducive to the way you're supposed to shop, right? Usually when you walk into a supermarket, it's the produce, right? So produce is obviously the most healthiest thing you can have, the vegetables, the fruits, all right? So stock up as much as you can. One of the best things to do, what I do, is buy just a couple bags of pre-washed arugula, spinach, kale, all right? Just take a couple of those, throw them in your bin. And then the next one is usually the meat department. Hey, pick up some chicken, pick up some lean meats, all right? And then next one is, what is the next one?
Dairy. You got dairy, right?
Yeah,
you got breads.
Dairy in there, it's like milk. Obviously, milk has a lot of protein, so stock up on that. But when you go home, it's easy to kind of set up a really good, healthy meal where you just take some of the salad, put it in a Tupperware, grill up some of the chicken, marinate it for a little while if you want. If anybody's interested, contact me. I got some great healthy marinades. And then just put the chicken in with the salad. You throw a little light balsamic dressing in there, and then just put the lid on it. Put it in the refrigerator so you can have like a nice, good, healthy meal whenever you want. Once you get hungry, you're in the refrigerator, pop the top off, chow away. When you're done, you put it back in, or if it's completely finished, obviously wash it. But that's the easiest and most healthiest thing to do. Find a good, real healthy dressing that you like, good marinated with the chicken, the salad. So that's really low calorie, high protein. It's got tons of antioxidants and vitamins.
Yeah, well, Garrett, I have a sneaking suspicion that in addition to rowing and also a voiceover career, I think you're going to have a career in nutritional cooking. Garrett Roberts, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us on the program, and we look forward to having you back again very soon.
Cool. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Good to see you.
And that wraps up this episode of BRN AM. Have a topic of interest, someone you think we should talk to, drop us a line. And don't forget, for all the information in retirement markets, technology, personal finance, so much more, check out today's edition of our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse. We're back again tomorrow, this time for BRN Weekly. We'll have a very special guest, and we'll take a look at some of our best segments for the week. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will work with you using our years of experience to represent your case to help you get the best resolution under the IRS guidelines. Help is here to deal with the IRS to reduce your stress. We've handled thousands of cases, so we know what we're doing. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a Tax Doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
Call 800-224-6439.